Space, the final frontier. My name is Captain Foley, and these are my adventures. Captain's Log, Stardate 2016-02.19. Welcome back, everybody. Captain Foley here. Got a few things to talk about. Got 100 comments to go through. So let's get started, shall we? So the first comment is from Joseph Apset. Do a Trekyards on Mystic Spenny's Enterprise. No, will never happen. The ship's not bad looking. Mystic Spenny turned out to be a little bit of a complete asshole when he was a part of the Trekyards page. He was very rude to quite a number of people, including myself, and he has since been blocked. And he sent us a nice little email saying never use his ship for anything or he'll cause legal action, but it's already public domain, so it doesn't matter. But we're not going to do it anyway because, no. The scaling's all wrong anyway. If you actually talk to him about the sizing, it's all wrong, and he doesn't agree with that. And he's right, and everybody else is wrong. It's just the way it is. Oh, before I start, I guess I should really get into my model table. I just got changing up this scenery a bit for you guys this time. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. Not as much to look at, but just felt like doing something new. Next is from Carl Edwards. I thought they used industrial replicators. Maybe in the future, a replicator that makes ships instead of just parts then. Yeah, I can see that. They can produce large starship parts using replicators, I'm sure Voyager did, to repair a lot of their damage and stuff over the course of their mission. Heath General Vader Tompkins. Hi, Stuart. I was wondering, how did you start Trekyards? Did you start it or did Sam? Answer is, we both did together. It was a joint thing. Samuel messaged me. I already had my channel, which I did model builds and reviews and product reviews and showed off my Star Trek stuff on. And then Samuel and Star Trek movie reviews. Samuel saw some of that stuff and messaged me. He was interested in collaborating on something because we found out we both love starships. So Trekyards was born. So I hope that answers your question. Samuel Quinby. Hi, Captain. My name is Sam. I love Trekyards. I'm disabled. All the videos bring me such joy. I'd love if there's any way I could help you out. Yeah, actually, all you guys can help out. Anybody that's interested in helping us out is definitely welcome to do so. The best way to help us out is through social media. Please share our stuff. Please promote Trekyards wherever you can, wherever you think somebody might be interested. Let people know about us. That's one of the best things you guys can all do to help us out, and actually will be helping us out, is promote us on social media. Just get us out there. We just got over 7,000 subscribers and just over 1 million views yesterday. So I want to get our subscribers up to 10,000. It's always growing every day, so that's a good thing. But the more you guys can do to help out, that'd be greatly appreciated, because we'd love to get there a lot sooner, of course, and we'd love our views to go up as well. So yeah, just if you guys, anybody that says they want to help us out with research or whatever, that's fine. Eventually, maybe, we'll see. We want to kind of keep the show the way we do it now. It is time consuming, but if I need help with any research or anything, I'll definitely give you guys a shout out, and you guys can help. But definitely, social media is the way to go for helping us out. Blood Raven, looking forward to seeing that Dreadnought finished. I think you mean the Foley class Dreadnought. I got another little 2500 scale one here, which I'm in the process of painting right now. But I'll show you more about that a little bit later. iGammer 9999, yes. Glad to hear you're doing better, Stuart, but I was wondering, I've asked several times if there's any way I can help contribute to Trekyards and haven't gotten an answer, whether it's footage, pictures, etc. Would you like help, plain and simple? Anything to help you guys to not get bogged down and overloaded, I'd be willing to help with. Yes, eventually I would love to definitely ask you guys for assistance. If not, I understand. I just wanted that to be known. Anyways, thank you for keeping the good work. Yes, and I get messages like this all the time from a lot of people, and a lot of my stuff in my messenger feed gets pushed to the bottom, so I realize that I've talked to somebody and months later, I'm like, oh, that person messaged me about such and such, and I got to scroll through all my messages to find it. And I apologize. Sometimes I get lost in the shuffle, but yes, social media is the way to help us out right now, guys. As for research, finding pictures and things like that, that might be. I have called on you guys a few times on the Trekyards Facebook page for that. I don't think specific people like this. I'd have to go back through all the captain's logs and all the messages and find out who specifically wanted my or offered their help, and that can be very time consuming for me. So I'll just have a standard call to arms on the Facebook page for any assistance for finding pictures or anything that if we're having troubles. So yes, absolutely. Fox Piano, I'd be down for a competition. What kind of backgrounds did you have in mind? This is referring to the Photoshop competition that I want to have, where you guys Photoshop me in uniform in front of a background of some kind. And he's asking what kind of backgrounds. I don't care. Inside of a TOS ship, inside of a Next Generation ship, on an alien planet, and Orion's slave girl brothel. I don't care. Just there's already pictures of me in uniform on the Trekyards page if you guys want to go grab those. But if we actually do an official contest, which is something we might do, there'll be a certain set of pictures that you guys can probably vote on, and then have a place where you can download that and use that as a background. I don't have green screen, so don't ask for the green screen. You'll have to crop me out some other way. I just don't have the green screen material here, and so that's something that I can't do, unfortunately. Enterprise H says, I feel like I need to make something clear about my comment on the USS Franklin. I never said that the view screen was a deflector. I tried to use positivity to say that if it was a deflector, then it could solve the problems of scale. On the ape brain thing, I think if you listen to Doug's thoughts on the Vulcans, it's pretty clear how his thought process works. In his mind, they're ages ahead of us. So we integrate their technology into our ships. We tenfold our technology, progress. The Federation has progress, and the Federation has countless more species, which add to the pace. As for my personal headcanon, I imagine the Romulans were involved with the creation of the Enterprise J. There's a few more comments on that one, but I wasn't specifically calling you out on saying that the that front view screen on the Franklin, a lot of people said it was a shuttle bay or deflector. Like I said, a lot of people said that, so I wasn't just specifically pointing you out, so I apologize if that's how it felt. It's not how it was intended, but it is, in fact, a view screen. I know, right? Darren Wagner, why does the Dreadnought in the opening animation have a navigational deflector on its ass end? Well, if you watched our Dreadnought episodes, we kind of go into that. It's not a navigational deflector. The main one on the front is a navigational deflector. There's two smaller ones on the front, and there's the one on the back, which is kind of a mid-sized dish. It's more of a sensor suite and sensor palette. It's designed for collecting, gathering information, things like that. Dreadnoughts are the head of task force usually, so they're kind of in the middle of the action, directing traffic as far as other ships go, because there's other ships in the fleet. So that could be a communication palette, which communicates back to the starbase, or just gives a broader view of the battlefield. Who knows specifically what it is for? I mean, I'm sure somebody knows. We never really got too far into that, but yeah, it's definitely not a navigational deflector. Just because you see something that looks like a deflector doesn't mean it's a deflector. It can be a sensor palette, sensor suite, sensor dish, whatever. Maria Sinclair, I really am glad that you're feeling better. On the idea of a Mirror Universe rant video, I'd suggest an eye patch. It's easier to take off than to grow back, and it could be terribly dashing. I think an eye patch would be awesome for my Mirror Universe counterpart. Absolutely. I actually have one over there. I'll go grab it. Honor me, mateys. I be from the Mirror Universe. I think this would work. Instead of the pirate, though, I'm going to put the Terran Empire symbol or some kind of cool symbol on there. I think that'd be cool. So yeah, that'll be part of my alter ego as far as the Mirror Universe goes. Admiral Foley. Thanks for the suggestion. So the next question is from Jade Foster, Skyla Jade Foster, sorry. I was wondering if it's worth getting the Star Trek attack wing ships just for the ships. It's hard to get Trek miniatures locally. That's why I like Star Trek 2. It's in the future, but everything is still similar, just more advanced. For example, look how accurate it was with things like the pad, etc., and even predict what we take for granted today now. So it's kind of a two-pronged thing. She was referring to something else at the end there. I shouldn't have read it together. Sorry, Sky. Oh, because let's address the first thing. The attack wing ships, just for the ships, absolutely get them. They're amazing. The attack wing ships are cool. They are for a game, but who has time for games? The ships, just collecting the ships is awesome. And then she goes on to talk about how I was talking about technology and how it's just kind of a more advanced feel for a version of what we have now, kind of thing. And so yeah, thank you, Sky. Analysis of sci-fi says, do a Trekyards on Enterprise restoration project. Already in the works. We've talked to Larry Nemechek, and we are not Larry Nemechek. Sorry, we have most of the consultation team, as in Andrew Probert, Rick Sternbach, all of them already on the Trekyards team. So we want to get somebody from the Smithsonian in and talk to them about the restoration. And we do want to do a Trekyards episode on that, absolutely. So Blood Raven again. I ended up designing my own Mirror Universe uniform in Star Trek Online. What would be your judgment on these? And he sent the pictures. Which I think it looks amazing. Very cool design. Yeah, good job. Okay. Next one is from Fumandunin. Damn, I was so sorry to hear about Mojo. I've been a fan of his since his Foundation imaging days. Yeah, Adam Mojo Glabowski. I can't remember his last name offhand. Anyway, yeah, he's got that GoFundMe campaign because he's ill. But if you guys want to check that out, go look up GoFundMe and type in Adam Mojo, and it'll come up, and you can help him out. Dave Dangerous 74. You cannot predict the future past the moment in time when computer AI surpasses human intelligence. The singularity is a big what if. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that day. Cloudzilla, be honest with us. Is Samuel actually Andy Samberg without studio makeup? The resemblance is uncanny. I'll never tell. He has a Commander's Q&A now, videos, so you can ask him. That's all I'm going to say about that. Cryptic Comatose says, when I first saw the USS Franklin, I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize it was supposed to be a ship for the new movie. And when I realized this, I grew to dislike it even more. What a fucking joke. I did not like this ship. I'm anti-JJ Trek because it's Star Trek. Doesn't mean it's going to be good Trek. But that's just my view. I just watch all the old series for my fix. DS9, Voyager, TNG, etc. Since no fan-made Trek has ever been up to par for my taste, so unfortunately, I got to rewatch the old stuff, and that's fine. That's what the old stuff is there for. And any fan-made stuff, sometimes the production values are low or whatever, but I find watching it's enjoyable. You get sometimes a good story, and if the effects aren't the best, you just, in your mind, you just visualize better effects. Coyote says the technology prediction thingy is summed up great in a video by Trekspertise. And the Trekspertise guys have a lot of cool videos, absolutely. So check those guys out as well. Gordon Massey, good to hear you're feeling better, although that's quite an interesting theory that they build parts in the atmosphere, then fly them into space to put them in the ship. Does that mean the Intrepid class is the future where they build the whole ship and then fly it off? Would make maintaining easier as well. Kind of makes me wonder what Doug Drexler would consider quote-unquote silly. I'm pretty sure that almost all Starfleet ships would be built in orbit. It would just make more sense practicality-wise to build something in zero gravity as opposed to all the energy consumption and stuff to maintain a structural integrity field while you're building it in a gravity environment. And I understand Mars has less gravity than Earth, so the Utopia Planitia guards there would have less gravity. But then to fly the ship up just doesn't make sense to me. It makes more sense to shuttle and ferry the parts up and construct them in orbit in a space dock. Carmelo Ailman, Mellotron. Welcome back, Captain. I think it would be really cool to have a Trek app that allows you to mix up Mix and match different parts of different starships to be able to make something original. Also, if you were stuck on a deserted planet and you are allowed to be stuck with only one female of any species, what would it be? Wow. I don't know. Human would be good. Andorian, Orion. Not Vulcan so much. They just seem bitchy. I don't like Bajorans either. I don't know. That's a good question. Whatever I could get. How's that? Heath General Vader Tompkins. One more question. Have you built a 350 scale refit Enterprise yet? Working on it. I'm working on it. Just got the photo etch in there the other day. This has been on the go for quite a while. Got this, my base done with the lighting ready to go. Switches. These all light up blue, by the way, which looks really nice. So yes, that's something that's underway. I just, like I said, I reorganized my desk here, cleared it off, and I'm going to be working on that now, little pieces at a time. Because I got to get it done. It's been a few years in the making, and it's just, I keep stalling on it. K-Shade Hyena. About predicting the future, I think fiction and so-called futurologists are usually wrong because it's incredibly hard, if not impossible, to predict the big disruptive changes in technology and society. Just extrapolating from today, it's probably fine for most things, but nobody really sees the big things that, like abolishment of slavery, steam electrical power, planes and cars, nuclear fission, or more recently the internet coming. For Star Trek, those technologies seem to be the warp drive, matter-antimatter reactors, subspace communications, replicators, post-materialism of sorts, and transporters. What could be the next best thing? We can already see the beginnings of self-driving vehicles and full industrial farming automation. It might already be on the horizon. Nanotechnology breakthrough, transwarp, but it could be something entirely different as well. And beyond that, who knows? That was really well said. I totally agree. It's the big changes that you don't expect because they're not really based on anything that we currently have that are the real game changers. So yeah, I totally agree with you. And Skyla, again, aren't you supposed to grow more facial hair for a mirror universe? Seems to be a requirement in the Terran Empire. Well, the mirror universe is basically the exact opposite of what you have here. So my mirror universe counterpart should be clean shaven, I guess. That was my thinking. Yes, having someone from the Smithsonian on would be pretty cool in my opinion. And yeah, we're going to try for that still. We haven't actually contacted anybody yet, but through Andrew Probert and a few of the other people that are part of the consultation team, we hope to actually get somebody that's involved in the restoration project on board on Trekyards to talk to. So the disliker has started being just kind of amusing for me. You just always know he's going to be there disliking it for God knows what reason. Yeah, I know. And we've seemed to get like more now. There's like 5 to 7 dislikes on a lot of our videos. So whatever. Do what you want to do. Dislike it. I really don't give a shit. Coyote again. One last question. Why haven't you changed the homepage on your YouTube so that it doesn't show everything you do? Subscribing to channels and such. And instead set it to display some of the favorite episodes you've done or some of the popular episodes. Because it's my channel still, and that's the way I want it. I want you guys to know what I watch, know what I like, videos I like, things like that. It's still my personal channel. It always will be. I know it has been changed to Trekyards, but I'm still going to have my personal stuff on there, and that's just something you guys are going to have to deal with, unfortunately. But take it or leave it. Andrew Hopkins. Trekyards definitely reawakened my interest in Trek. I was obsessed with it through my junior and high school years, which carried me through Next Gen, DS9, and the first 5 years of Voyager. I graduated high school on the day that DS9 ended, and I kind of fell out of it. Now that Trekyards has brought me back into it, I've been rewatching a lot of my favorite episodes and watching Enterprise for the first time on Netflix, and I'm loving reliving my younger years. I'm glad. I've actually heard that a lot about Trekyards, that it's brought a lot of people back into Trek, and it's a show that speaks to them and is, it takes it as seriously as they do, and that's something they really appreciate, and that makes me feel really good to hear that, so thank you guys. Michael Lohr. An episode on the Enterprise restoration at the Smithsonian would be awesome. What are your thoughts on Starfleet Tactical Hoodie? I got one and was a bit disappointed that it was thinner than I thought it would be, and the interior opening from the torso armpit to the sleeve seems a little snug. I asked because it appears we are the same size, and I also ordered an extra large. I'll address that first. The tactical hoodie from Thinking is awesome. I like that it's a thin material because then I can wear it over a t-shirt and still wear it inside as well as outside and still be comfortable. I don't have to worry about taking it off inside because it's too hot. And it's going to be nice for summer, like cool summer nights and stuff. It's not going to be too hot and sweltering, thick, fleece material. The one thing I did do is take the string out of the hood part because I'm never going to use the hoodie part of it. I wish it really actually wasn't a hoodie. I wish it kind of had like a more of a stiffer collar, but whatever. It is what it is. Plus, when you take the string out, it doesn't hang over the word Starfleet and kind of obliterate it when you're doing pictures or videos like I do. So I rather like it. It's not a snug fit. And as a matter of fact, I found the extra large is a little too big for me. It's a little too big in the arm and the shoulders and a little long lengthwise in the sleeves. But, I mean, if I order another one, it would probably be a large because I think that would probably fit better. So, hope that kind of answers your question. He goes on to say, the Miranda class without the roll bar is the Suez class, right? Yes. For the app, would there be a way to have the Trekyards hangout that anyone fan could drop in at any time and talk to other like-minded Trekyardians? It's an idea. Like I said, we would like to develop an app of some sort sometime. We just don't know how we would go about it or what would be involved with it. So, Starfleet Battles Addict. iPad sucks. iPads suck. The life out of reading long comments. Ha ha ha. So he put a space in there, so he's like trying to insult me by saying iPads suck, which they don't. They're actually the best tablets, I think. But that's just me. Analysis of Sci-Fi says, keep up the good work. Is there any news about the new CBS series? No. Just the forerunner of the show. Can't remember his name, but Doug Drexler was all happy about it, saying that he understands Trek, so I'm happy about it as well. Joseph Roos. Does Samuel have his own YouTube channel? Yes, he does. And he addressed that in the comments. So, Daniel McCool. The book you were thinking of is Flag Full of Stars, and that's where I talk about the saucer of the refit Enterprise being built on Earth and flown up and docked to the secondary hull. So, Coyote again, comment from previous video. This is your first captain's log I've watched, and I'm surprised that you read comments that are clearly just out to hurt you rather than actually offer constructive criticism. I don't think it's that good of an idea. Take Total Biscuit as an example. He stood by what he believed in and got thousands of hate comments of people telling him to die of his cancer because of it. It drove him to the point of completely breaking down. I know that this is on a much, much smaller scale, and I doubt you've said anything as controversial, but it still obviously causes you some sort of stress. So I just want to know why you would even read all of these comments. TB's first rule is to not treat his fan base as friends. Well, I do consider you all my friends. We all have a lot in common. We have a general thing we can talk about, and anybody that's messaged me, I've been more than friendly with. And I don't read. I do read all the incoming comments. If somebody's totally a dick to me or totally rude, then I deal with it accordingly. But yeah, I try not to let it bug me too much, but sometimes it does. So, Seth Hero Space Pirate. Well, we have to wait for NASA to build the warp drive ship. After that, I think all will be possible. ISS Enterprise says, hey, Captain, I know you're busy, so I'll get to the point. I'm building a 650 scale Connie from scratch and want to Aztec her. Any suggestions? Thanks. No, just lots of patience. I don't know if you're going to make your own Aztec maskings. I'm sure you can buy them for that scale. Look them up. It's probably worth buying the maskings and then painting. But, I mean, you can always create your own too. Just, it's up to you. I have no other suggestions, sorry. Anno Raven 079, that would be the Anton class. Oh, in regards to the original, the Miranda class that doesn't have the roll bar in the TOS version is one called the Anton class. That's what he's talking about. Jason Aldridge. I think YouTube should remove the dislike button. No one wants to see who disliked their videos. They just want to see how many likes they've gotten. It's true. Commander Rotel. A quick comment on the galaxy being built on Mars. Well, to play devil's advocate for a split second, Mars's gravity is much lower than that of Earth, so it would make less. It would need less structural integrity fuel power running. Plus, if it was disassembled, so there's no tipping over because it's so top heavy and forward heavy. However, what I believe is actually going on there is that it's a completed Galaxy class disassembled into its core parts to be used when necessary and to be stored there until that happens. Enterprise loses its saucer, grab a new one. Odyssey loses a warp nacelle, go grab a new one. Geordi crashed the Challenger into a planet, grab all those stored up components and build a new one. While it was non-canon information, the early idea for the Galaxy class was that it have 6 galaxies on duty with an additional 6 mostly completed and stored. I think that's one of them. Obviously, Deep Space Nine and Voyager shat all over that idea, which is good for me as I just love these ships. Yeah, so it's true. They were originally planned to do 12 Galaxy classes, but they ended up only doing 6, and then they had 6 space frames built and main components assembled, but they separated those and kept them in reserve, which actually was a good idea, because they ended up needing them for the Dominion War after ships got destroyed, so, and after the Battle of Wolf 359 as well. So yeah, that's probably what's happening. Who knows? Techno Pop-Tart. The Constitution refit had landing pads, so it couldn't fully land. This was in Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. Yes, I know. I made reference to it landing, but I was referring to just the saucer section. Just the saucer section of the Constitution can land after it separates. The secondary hull cannot. Cuban writer, magnetic stand is a great idea. Ingenious. So referring to this, which I'll show you guys in just a second. Dave Ghani. Johnny? USS Enterprise NCC 17018 is, in my opinion, the greatest looking starship in Starfleet. Getting to see all the cool models you build and then tell us about is awesome. Again, thank you so much for devoting so much time to entertainment that is Star Trek. Well, I enjoy Star Trek a lot, and I love sharing it with you guys, so no problem sharing. Gwen's dad, 2003. The TOS Miranda equals Anton class, at least in FASA. Correct. Mark Fields. Love Mirror Universe idea. I would love to see it. Wonderful captain's log. Maybe one day you'll see an admiral's log in the Mirror Universe. Who knows? Galvers. Built on the surface, taken into orbit. I don't see the problem with construction on a surface. Small ships like the Defiant. But big boys, question mark. Nah, parts of them would then assemble in dry dock in orbit. But full ship, nope. Yes, it's more easy to build them on the surface where you don't need such highly qualified workers to do the job in the vacuum of space or in zero-G. But on the other hand, building them in orbit means that they are already tested if the structure don't have cracks and is hermetically sealed. Yeah, again, main components will be built on the planet and then ferried up and assembled in zero gravity in an Earth or in a space dock or a dry dock facility. Sean McDonald, you're talking the future and explanations of it got me thinking. I have a theory, and be warned, this will blow your mind. What if the vast difference between the computer and science technology of TOS and that of today is itself a product of time contamination? We know that the original TOS timeline, by this time, we've been blasted into the Stone Age by World War III. But what if by time traveling events of TOS, the 20th century advanced at a much faster pace than it originally did from the 60s onward? And that's why World War III didn't happen, and why computers of today represent the 24th century more than the 23rd. Further, I know the Enterprise and TOS are accepted to exist in the same continuity, but maybe they don't. What if the Enterprise exists in our current altered timeline, which is why it looks so advanced? Thoughts on this? This could also explain the disparity between JJ Trek and TOS. Maybe the technology split occurred far before the movie what we accept at the original. Yes, it'd be cool if the reason that we got Star Trek was so that we could shape our future as accordingly because of it. And yeah, maybe World War III didn't happen because of that very reason. And maybe the Enterprise is in an alternate timeline. That's been speculated many times, that the events of Enterprise are actually an alternate timeline that leads to the JJ verse because of First Contact, where they go back in time and stop the Borg. There's lots of speculation, and it's quantum mechanics. Can't wrap my head around it. Hate it, but it's a lot of great ideas. Tess Flynn, my question with the mobile app is, what do you expect to do with it that can't be done with a better responsive website? Unless you're accessing system-specific functionality, GPS, accelerometer, file storage, and camera. Mobile apps divide up your time and your money to multiple targets. If you just want an icon on your home screen, most mobile browsers let you do that now for any bookmark. No, we'd want a Trekyards app, but it'd have to be something special that would be unique to Trekyards, so that's why we've asked for your suggestions. Just for clarification, that scene from TNG episode where they were illegibly building the Galaxy class on the surface of the Mars was taken from a top-down point of view from the Argus array. From this angle, it could have easily been in orbit. Also, the saucer section of a starship is theoretically aerodynamic enough to fly, as seen in the Enterprise episode Stormfront Part 2. NATO even experimented with disc-shaped aircraft back in the 1950s. I still agree with you, though. Doug Drexler said in your NX-01 episode that he envisioned the NX being assembled in space as pre-made parts, and he even theorized that the 1701 was 3D printed in one piece, which symbolized how much more advanced it was. The only thing I think is not accurate is the dates. It's a little hard to believe that we will be doing that in just 200 years. I also like to think Star Trek uses a different calendar than us. That is really supposed to happen further in the future. I think 200 years is ample time for us to actually 3D print an entire ship. So I kind of disagree with you there. But yeah, everything else I kind of agree with in regards to Doug. But when he says organically grown, the ship, he doesn't mean grown as in a 3D printer grown. Because when you 3D print a part for models, they say it was grown. I don't think that's what he's referring to. I think he means it's more of a self-healing kind of nanotech technology that can shape and form itself and repair itself. And I don't buy that. But maybe I'm wrong. James Oldfield. Good to hear your holiday was enjoyable. Sounds like there are yet more things to come from Trekyards. As for a Trekyards app, for me, all it needs to do is get to your videos or to your Patreon to support you guys. Thank you for the suggestion. Samuel McCosh, talking about the Mirror Universe thing. He says at time index 7 minutes in, sounds like a good idea, Captain or Admiral. Ill-Made 2. There are always dislikes. I have had one view with a positive comment and still had a dislike. Go figure. Don't sweat the trolls. Great episode, by the way. Don't shave for the love of Kalas. Thank you. A lot of people have expressed fondness for my facial hair. Other people say it looks silly. I don't know. I never used to have facial hair. I always said I would never grow one. But here I am. P. Giovanni Jr. Couldn't agree more regarding the shipbuilding techniques, Captain. It has been well established that Federation ships in particular utilize modular design, so therefore the vessels would clearly be built in sections off-site and then assembled somewhere else. Additionally, we're talking about spaceships, so why wouldn't they be assembled in space? It makes no sense to build them on a planet. What benefit would there be to build it on land? None, that's what. Well, cost saving. Again, you don't have to have specialized people building it per se that have been trained in zero gravity environments, although that's probably a pretty common thing in the future. So there are reasons that it could be built on a planet to play devil's advocate, but yeah. Rob Wong, I would suspect the saucers used impulse and thrusters to fly, land, and take off from the ground, but the rest of the ship I do agree would have to be built in space. Though honestly, I would just build the whole thing in space. I agree. Shondas Buddy Guy, I think this should be fairly obvious to anyone who has interest. Starship construction would be modular in space. Different departments would handle the different major components, and assembly would be completed in the traditional shipyards that we have all seen before. Why would you build a ship on Earth or Mars when an accident would be catastrophic for any community nearby? Thanks again, JJ. Warp plasma leak, weapons malfunction, any and all hazardous gases, etc., etc. Utopia Planitia isn't on the surface of Mars. The Galaxy Class program was built inside of a starbase-looking mushroom top, never seen from the outside or seen in canon, to the best of my knowledge, in orbit of Mars. Example, or the episode was Booby Trap. I actually read the other day that facility that they show in Booby Trap is not orbiting Mars. It's actually orbiting another facility, and that's just the warp core or the warp design facility, not the entire ship. It looks like there's an entire ship back there, but I was reading some stuff online, and that's kind of debatable. Usually, as seen with newly constructed starships, final systems or even semi-final systems are incomplete with hull finalized. How would any of the cruiser class or above ships make it into orbit? Exactly. That's what I've been saying all along. A lot of people insist that ships are built on a planet, and JJ's one of them. I don't agree. The A game game bar. I can see them using a series of boosters, maybe solid state or some sort of gravity ones, to move the sections into space for final putting together. So it could work, but I prefer that everything be built in space instead. Yes. Copernicus 2001. Almost at the end, guys. Captain Foley, your show is really coming to its own. I like hearing about Mr. Probart's original design for the Ambassador class. Thanks for really caring about Star Trek by providing new and interesting content. There needs to be more shows like yours out there. Keep on trekking. Thank you very much. And yes, thank you guys for that Ambassador prototype with Andrew Probert going in our version of iRoll. It hit 5,000 views very quickly, and that was because you guys were sharing it, and we would encourage you to share all of our content like that. That's amazing, guys. Stiggy's Guitar Loft. You are right about the future in the world of playing it safe like how we live now. I believe the future will be very close to present day. It would take a massive event such as a war that destroys infrastructures to change the way of thinking, in my opinion. True. Shermanator, 1989. One could argue we've actually underestimated future advancements. Look at all the stuff that we've seen in Star Trek, which has since become a normal part of our lives. Communicators, mobile phones, touchscreen computers, hypersprays. Has problems with virus transmissions, but the basic tech is there. True. Ion drive propulsion. All this and more has happened in the last 50 years. And let's not forget the massive changes the internet is creating in global security. Global security, we could barely talk about this 50 years ago. True, we might have underestimated things, or is it because the Star Trek envisioned those things that we have them today? Because the people that watched Star Trek were influenced by it and wanted to get into specific fields, and they wanted to create these things. So if Star Trek didn't exist, would we have an iPad right now? Would we have cellular phones that the flip style? Who knows? Who knows? Wake Roberts. Modular low orbit construction isn't just the means that will be used for building spacecraft in the future. It's the means by which spacecraft have been built now. The International Space Station was built module by module and launched into orbit to be joined with the other elements of the structure. Seth Yarrow Space Pirate. Sorry, but nicer cars on wheels, I think not. It comes to mind the Prius and the Volt they're ugly. Talking about electric cars, I think, or I don't know. I don't know where that comment came from. Almost done, guys. Starfleet Battles Attic. An episode suggestion. Crew sizes. What do these people do? Do a breakdown of how many people it takes to run a starship in the 4 eras. Current wet Navy cruiser, sub, Enterprise, TOS, heavy cruiser, Excelsior, TNG. What departments would they have staff per shift? How many shifts? Pick four non-officers and think about what their daily routine would be. That'd be a very interesting episode, actually. Great idea. Thank you. Cuban Writer, glad to see you refreshed. Compliments to Samuel and his work on the intro animations. Always does a great job. Space Pirate again. If they do, that's good news. Mike Wetgen. No shaving, no shaving, no shaving. Also, Photoshop challenge. Take a bunch of photos on green screen, which I said I can't already. Have a competition to pick one. Upload the full-size winning image to the Trekyards Dropbox account and link to the Trekyards pages. Set a closing date. Make it a top 10 episode for them, and then have the viewers vote on those 10 to pick a winner. That's a great idea, actually. Everything. The Dropbox, the link, the top 10 episode that we pick, and then you guys pick the winner. I like that. Shave for the Mirror Universe videos? Hell no. Grow a goatee for those. If I could, I would. I'm fair skinned. See, I haven't shaved for a few days. And this is what I get. I get a patch here, a little bit here, some here. I can't grow this out to connect the two, otherwise I would. So, yeah. Log from the dark mirror would be cool. When dark logging, you should gel your hair to be spiked. Ship I'm redesigning is supposed to be built, replicated, whole, except for major systems, as they need special supervision during installation. Hope this doesn't get yours or others' blood to boil, but it needs a finishing addressed. Trekyards Fleet Comms Communications, a group where existing members can talk about Star Trek and other sci-fi related franchises. As I notice, people want to talk about those other sci-fi with us in the Trekyards group. Plus, it'd help if you do more Fleet Yards videos. As the pointy-eared people say, live long and prosper, mon capitaine. I don't want to do a general Star Trek discussion group under Trekyards' name. This has been discussed before. There's so many groups for that already. Trekyards is Trekyards. It's what it is. Ships, technology. So yeah, that's that. Did I miss something with that last point that I'm supposed to say? I forget. And yes, we need to do more Fleet Yards videos. Understood. We have 3 that have been researched, 3 that have been planned for the next ones, but we haven't reached our goals, guys. It just takes so much time. We can't. I mean, we might tweak another one out just to have another second pilot, so you guys can see more of what we can do. But now there were a few things I wanted to talk to you guys about, so I got my trusty little notepad here, which is a notepad. I got it from Sci-Fi Blog this month. First of all, the Commander has a new show called Q&A, where it's basically a Commander's log like this, where he addresses your comments and questions. And you guys have been very good with his first episode. You gave him so many good questions, and he's getting better questions than I am, for crying out loud. What's going on, guys? You don't want to hear your captain's opinion on these questions? The nerve. The noive. Plus, he's also doing some Eagle Moss unboxings. He gets the Eagle Moss ships every month. He's a big fan of them. He loves them, and just did his first unboxing. It's something that we might continue, but we really need to hit our Patreon goals, because we are starting now. I've been working on the 50th anniversary special. We have a few of those lined up on specific hero ships, and so it's almost done. It's almost completed. The first part of it. It's going to be broken up into multiple episodes. And released. We're not sure of a release dates and whatnot right now. We hope to have the first one out in March, but we're not sure. But we really, 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 really need you guys to help out with that and share the Patreon information. Go over to Patreon, donate if you can. Donate on the Trekyards webpage. Click the donate button. If you can only do a one-time donation, do that there. All that stuff will help out with the 50th. We want to give you a lot of cool stuff for the 50th, and like I said, we're working on a big ship right now, one of the major players in Star Trek, for the first Legends episode. And there's a lot to do on it, lots of work, and we really need your help, because we want to bring you the best that we can. Which brings me to my next thing. We want to do these big ships like the Galaxy class and the Connie and stuff. We want to do them in a documentary style, but a very unique one. We want to wear the costumes of the time. Now, what that might involve is, would you guys be down for donating for that so that I can acquire a next generation uniform, as I don't have one. Samuel has one, but it needs to be altered and fitted to his size. But to do the episodes in costume is something that we would like to do. And if you guys are interested in helping us out with that, as far as it's like $150 for the costume and the alterations and stuff for each of us. It's not that much. Is that something that you guys would be interested in helping us get raise money for? Like, would you guys be willing to donate towards that so that we can present these awesome, great hero ships to you in uniform? Is that something that you guys would be down for? I need to know. So Samuel put a poll on the Trekyards page the other day asking that, and I think I got people confused because one person was like, yes, do an episode on all the uniforms throughout the ages, and it's like, huh? What? That's not what we asked. But anyway. So that's basically it for today. Like I said, guys, you are great. You're the amazing fans. You've really jumped on the whole Commander Cockings web show idea and really gave it a lot of good love, and there's some positivity there. There's great questions that he has to answer, so I'm looking forward to hearing his answers for those. And as usual, we're working on a lot of cool stuff for you. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. Today was our top 10 phasers episode. This Saturday is a much requested ship that you guys have been asking for. It's going to be part 1. Part 2 will be next Saturday. So stay tuned for that. And lots of cool stuff going on my desk at the moment where this camera is sitting. Ta-da! Lots of cool stuff. Plus some research materials right here beside me. And that's kind of what I'm working on for the first part of that 50th anniversary special that we're working on. So, I told you I'd show you this too. Got some painting done on it. I still got to do the blue on the deflector, but I've got some of the details on the engines. Got the inner chiller grills, the correct purple color that they're supposed to be. The black, top one is all black. It's got the copper at the front there. So it's coming along. It's really hard to see the detail on this. And it's not even close to being finished yet, so don't tear me a new butthole because things look wrong or something to you. It's coming along. It's coming along. So I got that project underway. It's a problem with magnets, but I mean, it's also the good thing about magnets. I got the Remora or Stingray class ship with the weapons pod on the top as well, getting ready to be painted. That's next, one of the next projects. And of course, the 350 scale that's underway, which is going to be amazing. I just got the Paragraphics photo etched Arboretum windows in. And might as well give you a quick update as far as that goes. A lot of you probably don't watch my model build videos, so you haven't seen this yet. I wanted to share this with you guys. There's my officer's lounge ready to go in the ship. Picture of the Connie over here on the wall, which you can't really see. There's my officer's lounge. And here's my Arboretum ready to go in the ship. Arboretum's almost finished. Still got a little work to do. I got to frost the clear part so that the light diffuses through it when it shines down and things like that. But it's coming along, guys. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. If you're interested in those builds at all, or seeing how I do that, stay tuned to the channel because there'll be a lot of model build videos coming up addressing those issues. Because yes, I want to get this thing finished, but it's been a horrendous nightmare as far as that goes. I kind of keep putting it off. All right, guys, that's it for me for today. Thank you very much for, as always, for watching, and hope you comment. I hope you have a lot of great questions and stuff for me for next time. And until then, this is Captain Foley signing off. See you guys in the future.